Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Splat Grind, because the Splat Grind stops for no one, not even finding Goldie in the same place 3 times in a row. Today I'm going to tell you my Splatoon 3 highlights from the past week. May 20th, T-minus 12 days until the paintbrush drops. Today is a gold random rotation day in Salmon Run. Most of the Grizzco weapons are great, but spawning grounds is not. The first wave, I had the Grizzco Splatana. That's great. We've got 2 Splatanas and 2 Sloshers, even better. It's a nighttime wave, peachy keen. It's grillers, the absolute best. One person is spamming this way next to the basket while the griller is clearly all the way over there. We slap the first griller to death and get most of the eggs in the basket. Then the 2 people who aren't me or the spammer die, and the next griller is targeting me, and I have to swim up this wall around the griller to try and revive them. I end up dying next. Then the 1 person alive is the spammer, and they use their reef slider to revive exactly 1 person. And then they both die. We were wiped out in wave 1 with 4 eggs out of 11. Forget about the last time I said worst griller wave ever. This is the worst griller wave ever. Just imagine what could have happened if we had weapons with range, or perhaps 4 people who are actually interested in winning. I almost reported that person for intentionally not contributing, but then I decided maybe they were trying. I mean, they did pull out that reef slider. The bright side though, hazard level 69. May 22nd, T-minus 9 days until the paintbrush drops. If that seems like fewer days than before, that's because I'm considering May 31st to be the drop day now, because sizzle season does not start on June 1st in the central time zone, but on May 31st at 7 p.m. I might just try the H3 Nozzle Nose D, because that all defense kit just seems hilarious to me. Today's theme for Turf War is desert-based stages. First, Scorch Gorge, and my team has 2 ink brushes and 2 flinxes, which is definitely the weapon comp of all time. We got some splats at the beginning, leading to an even playing field early on. However, Killer Whale and Missile Spam seems to falter before their variety of specials. It's either whoops, this ink vac is making me slobber, or who put this triple ink strike on our spanner? Aiming a crab at the enemy's base? That's just low. However, we were able to break free of their grasp, and the ink brush flings a meme team won by 16%, and I got 998 points, which was disappointing. The lobby got dissolved because Rex and Red wouldn't stop squid partying. But when I went in again on Umami Ruins, Red was in this lobby too, but on the enemy team this time. At the beginning, I saw Kit Kat just standing there. I was like, bro, you good? Is your connection unstable? Are you just AFK? After a few minutes, I decided I had more important things to do and went on my way, dodging enemy fire and splatting people who apparently didn't know I was there. Then with a minute 46 on the clock, 4 people got Thanos snapped out of the game, leading to a 3v1. And since we were past the first minute, we had to play it all out. I was just thinking, what's the point? There's no way that 1 kid's going to win. Let's have a squid party in the middle. I squid back a few times in the middle. No one seems to notice. That's when I noticed everyone else had taken the fight to enemy base. I swim up there and say, you know what, Etienne, I'm sorry your whole team disconnected. Allow me to present the olive branch with this squid bag. Instead, Etienne bashes me on the head with his crack-on roll, and then I decide, all right, buddy, this means war. I super jump over there and try to take them down, which still feels bad considering splatting 1 person equals a wipeout. Then it got to the point where they were just standing on that first platform out of the spawn, defending himself with exclusively vertical swings. We won by 72%. I got 6 splats to 4 times splatted, and I still feel bad for Etienne. Definitely the craziest battle I've ever been in that's lasted the full 3 minutes. The third battle was on Umami Ruins with a completely intact lobby, and this time my team had 2 ink brushes, a Splatana wiper, and a squiffer. Not as memey, but half the team still lacks range and damage. Started out even, which feels good, but the enemy team pushed further onto our base. I had to remember what I learned the last time I won on Umami Ruins, or the last time I won a 4v4 on Umami Ruins. Literally anything can happen. All I needed to do was jump on that platform to the left, take that ink rail to the center, and cover everything in sight. Before long, your teammates will follow. The difference this time, however, is we were pushed back onto our base in the last minute. We lost by ouch%, and I got #1 overall splatter with 3 splats, which makes me wonder what the rest of the team was doing. A note to Nintendo. Please, please fix your servers. For poor Etienne's sake. May 23rd, T-minus 8 days until the paintbrush drops. The light Tetra dualies come with 4 nodules and Zipcaster for maximum messing with people, and the Tenta Sorella and it has the Trizuka to give it the offensive buff that it needs. In the meantime, though, we're playing Salmon Run with the Big Swig. The first wave, I had the 96 Gallon normal tie. It's a high damage weapon with the fatal flaw of slow, but it has the range to let me kill the Slam and Lift from above. The next boss to come in was a steelhead. I was close to beating it, but then I saw people who needed reviving focused on them instead. I don't think we ever beat that steelhead. The second wave I had the Splash-O-Matic on normal tide. This weapon has lower damage, but it has a higher firing rate and more accuracy, which makes it even easier to kill stuff, if anything. I also figured out that if you throw an egg while jumping, the egg won't bounce off that stupid ledge the basket is on top of. Why did they even put that there? With my new higher firing rate, I could strand flip or floppers and splash fish sticks from below like a champ. The third wave, I had the big swig at normal tide. The first boss to come in was a big shot. I attempted to this way while mashing the big shot to death. Everyone else showed up, but the chums converged on me before I could pop any of the eggs into the cannon. Also, there's a steelhead blocking the basket, so have fun with that. We take down the steel eel, get the eggs in the basket, and in comes a flyfish. I know what I have to do. Find the flyfish, and then activate the inkjet. I have to stay in the air and also land a hit on this little dude while he was flying around. I managed to deal him in right before the inkjet deactivated, and I landed as it happened right in front of the eggs. We beat the round with 43 eggs out of 37. I beat 10 bosses while he got 0, as well as 0 golden eggs and 0 revives. I don't think they were throwing. I think they were just trying and not succeeding, which makes me wonder how they got to overachiever in the first place. On my second round, I started with the 96-gallon normal tide. The lights were going down, which already made this wave more interesting than the other ones. I was expecting it to be something stupid like grillers, but it was actually Goldie seeking this time. And would you look at that? Goldie is right there. One person uses their killer whale to deal as much concentrated damage as possible. I, however, put myself in charge of getting a few good hits at the beginning and then moving in to pick up the exit drop. We'd find it again, right? In fact, we found it in the same gusher a stone's throw away from the basket 3 times in a row. So our quota was done. The fourth time, amazingly, it was in a different gusher in a different corner. It was in its small form, and I had a gal. Would this be the Goldie seeking where we finally splattered a Goldie? The answer is no. The second wave, I had the Splash-O-Matic at low tide. As I stood there wondering where the first boss was going to come from, a flipper-flopper landed right next to the basket. Don't mind if I do. Then the flyfish showed up. I knew what I needed to do. Find the flyfish and then activate the booyah bomb. I missed both of them. That's right, there were 2, and I'm pretty sure we just ignored them. We were just surviving while we beat the steelhead and this fish stick or whatever less threatening bosses there were. We survived long enough to make it to wave 3, and I had the big swig on normal tide. This one started with a big shot and then another big shot. The chums killed my entire team after we downed them both, so I had to swing my roller hoping to revive anyone. But once we were back in business, I'm pretty sure we got like 10 eggs in 10 seconds. After we had made our quota, I saw Ra-Ra and their life ring in the corner. I survived the stinger and the flyfish to get to them, but once they were alive, I went down next. As I sat in my life ring, I saw the Splash-O-Matic icon light up again, and then I was up again, and people started going down. There were a ton of bosses around the basket. We had our quota, so we didn't need to fight any bosses. We didn't need to grab any eggs. We just needed to revive people by hitting them with my roller and live. We successfully ignored 3 flyfish with 55 eggs out of 40, and I also got 9 revives, which must be a new record. But seriously, how often does a flipper-flopper land right where you want it to? May 25th, T-minus 6 days until the paintbrush drops. They've announced some new cards, but I don't think I'll ever use them because I hardly change my deck. However, today's Mini Splatling Thursday, and the lobby DJs have decided that today is Splatoon 1 day for some reason. The first battle was on Mincemeat Metalworks. This battle started out tough because Panda the Dapple Dooley's Nouveau was on our base dodging around. We splatted them and kept on going. They were losing for most of it, mainly because they left this perfectly good spot right on their base unattended, and Ash was standing in enemy ink firing their Trizuka. Usually, I shouldn't get this close to a Trizuka, but this isn't usually. They almost had us, but we won by 12%. Several connection issues later, the second battle was on Wahoo World. My side had too many Splatlings, which might be a bad thing, especially since the other team has a missile spammer and a booyah bomb spammer. Okay, maybe spammer is a bit much. It was 4 missiles and 3 booyah bombs, but it felt like a lot in the moment. I was still out there trying to cut to enemy base as quickly as possible because they were on our base and all this turf was just sitting here unattended. That is until the big swig got splatted, and I knew once they respawned they'd try to get to me. It was actually Bratty Kid, the Tentactech Splattershot, who got me first. We lost by 17%. I quit the lobby so I could redeem another food tick, but then I saw that I hit level 30, and thus my locker was upgraded to the extra tall locker. I spread out my stickers and added another shelf of stuff before getting back in. The third battle was also on Wahoo World, and our Dynamo Roller is already in the water 5 seconds in. There was someone named Bugfart on the other team, and there was no way I was going to lose to them. However, the most threatening member of the enemy team was Ryuto the Ink Brush, who was trying to mash me and killer whale me at the same time. I'm not sure which one got me first. There was an Arrow Spray and Doppelnulli's Nouveau, so there were several Reef Sliders, and Soda Pup, the undercover brawler, was on our side, adding to the chaos. Despite our efforts, the enemy team held the line, and we lost by 13%. And then I remember I never redeemed that food ticket. I do that. Then I go to the shell-out machine to gamble away my sorrows about losing to Bug Fart. And what do I get but the Hollow Squid sticker, the most expensive sticker available from the shell-out machine. It's even better because I'm flat broke. I put it on my locker alongside my new mini Splatling sticker that I just got for getting 2 stars, baby. May 26th. T-minus 5 days until the paintbrush drops. Since there's a Hydra and Salmon run today, I'm going to play some Rain McGee. My Tacticooler was so threatening in the last session, so I'm going to use the NZAP 89 today. The first battle was on Scorch Gorge. The thing about Scorch Gorge is that I've never played Rainmaker there before. My team had 2 NZAP 89s, but the other team had Morgan the Tri-Stringer, who could snipe me no matter where I was. I might have also made a couple of stupid decisions, such as firing my Super Chump at home base because that's where I thought the enemy team was. Charging on an enemy base, covering turf like it was turf war, and carrying the Rainmaker straight to the enemy team. I also learned that when you get slided by the Rainmaker explosion, it shows you the person who broke the shield, who, as it turns out, was Morgan. We lost by 48 points after exactly 5 seconds of overtime, and I got 1,241 points. Morgan got 19 splats. I thought for sure they were going to break 20. The second battle was on Manta Maria against Dooley Devil, spelled wrong presumably because Dooley Devil doesn't fit into 10 characters. Anyway, replacing Kirby the Crack-On Roller on our team in this battle was Morgan? This never happens in Ranked. Well, Morgan, the fate of this team rests on you. Don't screw it up. The thing about Manta Maria is that I've never played Rainmaker here either. I decided to take the Rainmaker first because even if the entire enemy team jumps me a second later, at least I did something. And then someone on the enemy team disconnected. What were we supposed to do? Leave? Well, yes, but we won the part that we did play, so yay. We all decided to stick around, so Morgan, the fate of this entire team rests on you. Don't screw it up, and one or more players disconnected. The third battle was on Scorch Gorge, and Morgan was nowhere to be seen. My team had 3 NZAPs. Slave Queen the Bloblobber needs to get with the program. The enemy team broke the shield in about 6 nanoseconds. We converged on the Rainmaker. 4 of us died. They get the Rainmaker first. Doesn't get much better after that. I decided that my job was to clear out people trying to break the Rainmaker shield. What I didn't realize, however, was that the Rainmaker shield could also clear me out. We got knocked out in 1 minute and 54 seconds. The enemy team could have at least waited 6 seconds so I could get an extra 100 points in my catalog. So I'm still getting used to this crazy Rainmaker thing. Maybe if I really want to be aggressive, I should play the Splash-O-Matic. I know that made me a filthy meta player, but maybe it's meta for a reason. Thank you for listening to the Splat Grind. Be sure to come back next week for even more Splatoon craziness, including the dawn of the Sizzle season.